Let's read.
Well, if you know, why bother to ask me, said Mary Poppins, sniffing. I'm no dictionary. Oh, Michael, said Jane, you never tell me like that. Mary Poppins, do say what Andrew was saying to you, please. Ask him. He knows, Mr. Know-All, said Mary Poppins, nodding her head scornfully at Michael. Oh, no, I don't. I promise I don't, Mary Poppins. Do tell. 3:30. Tea time, said Mary Poppins, and she wheeled the perambulator round and shut her mouth tight again as though it were a trap door. She did not say another word all the way home. Jane dropped behind with Michael. It's your fault, she said. Now we'll never know. I don't care, said Michael, and he began to push his scooter very quickly. I don't want to know. Just as they were about to cross the road to their own house, they heard loud cries coming from next door, and there they saw a curious sight. Miss Lark's 2 maids were rushing wildly about the garden, looking under bushes and up into trees, as people do who have lost their most valuable possession. And there was Robertson A. from number 17, busily wasting his time by poking at the gravel on Miss Lark's path with a broom, as though he expected to find the missing treasure under a pebble. Miss Lark herself was running about in her garden, waving her arms and calling, Andrew! Andrew! Oh, he's lost! My darling boy is lost! We must send for the police. I must see the Prime Minister. Andrew is lost. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh, poor Miss Lark, said Jane, hurrying across the road. She could not help feeling sorry because Miss Lark looked so upset. But it was Michael who really comforted Miss Lark. Just as he was going in at the gate of number 17, he looked down the lane, and there he saw. Why, there's Andrew, Miss Lark. See down there? Just turning Admiral Boom's corner. Where? Show me, said Miss Lark breathlessly, and she peered in the direction in which Michael was pointing. And there, sure enough, was Andrew, walking as slowly and as casually as though nothing. Mary Poppins and the children waited in the lane outside Miss Lark's gate. Miss Lark herself and her 2 maids leant over the fence. Robertson I, resting from his labors, propped himself up with his broom handle, and all of them watched in silence the return of Andrew. He and his friend marched sedately up to the group, whisking their tails jauntily and keeping their ears well cocked. And you could tell by the look in Andrew's eye that whatever he meant business. That dreadful dog, said Miss Lark, looking at Andrew's companion. Shoo! Go home, she cried. But the dog just sat down on the pavement and scratched his right ear with his left leg and yawned. Go away! Go home! Shoo, I say, said Miss Lark, waving her arms angrily at the dog. And you, Andrew, she went on, come indoors this minute. Going out like that, all alone and without your overcoat, I am very displeased with you. Andrew barked lazily, but did not move. What do you mean, Andrew? Come in at once, said Miss Lark. Andrew barked again. He says, put in Mary Poppins, that he's not coming in. Miss Lark turned and regarded her haughtily. How do you know what my dog says, may I ask? Of course he will come in. Andrew, however, merely shook his head and gave 1 or 2 low growls. He won't, said Mary Poppins, not unless his friend comes too. Stuff and nonsense, said Miss Lark crossly. That can't be what he says. As if I could have a great hulking mongrel like that inside my gate. Andrew yapped 3 or 4 more times. He says he means it, said Mary Poppins. And what's more, he'll go and live with his friend unless his friend is allowed to come and live with him. Oh, Andrew, you can't. You can't, really, after all I've done for you and everything. Miss Lark was nearly weeping. Andrew barked and turned away. The other dog got up. Oh, he does mean it, cried Miss Lark. I see he does. He's going away. She sobbed a moment into her handkerchief, then she blew her nose and said, Very well then, Andrew, I give in. This common dog can stay, on condition, of course, that he sleeps in the coal cellar. Another yap from Andrew. He insists, ma'am, that won't do. His friend must have a silk cushion just like his and sleep in your room too. Otherwise, he will go and sleep in the coal cellar with his friend, said Mary Poppins. Andrew, how could you, moaned Miss Lark. I shall never consent to such a thing. Andrew looked as though he were preparing to depart. So did the other dog. Oh, he's leaving me, shrieked Miss Lark. Very well then, Andrew, it will be as you wish. He shall sleep in my room, but I shall never be the same again. Never, such a common dog. She wiped her streaming eyes and went on. I should never have thought it of you, Andrew, but I'll say no more, no matter what I think. And this creature I shall call waif, or stray, or... At that, the other dog looked at Miss Lark very indignantly, and Andrew barked loudly. They say you must call him Willoughby and nothing else, said Mary Poppins, Willoughby being his name. Willoughby! What a name! Worse and worse, said Miss Lark despairingly. What is he saying now? For Andrew was barking again. He says that if he comes back, you are never to make him wear overcoats or go to the hairdresser's again. That's his last word, said Mary Poppins. There was a pause. Very well, said Miss Lark at last, but I warn you, Andrew, if you catch your death of cold, don't blame me. And with that, she turned and walked haughtily up the steps, sniffing away the last of her tears. Andrew cocked his head towards Willoughby as if to say, Come on, and the two of them waltzed side by side, slowly up the garden path, waving their tails like manners, and followed Miss Lark into the house. He isn't a nincompoop after all, you see, said Jane as they went upstairs to the nursery and tea. No, agreed Michael, but how do you think Mary Poppins knew? I don't know, said Jane, and she'll never, never tell us, I am sure.